Hello, world. This is CuzTheInternet podcast. I'm your host, Trey.
And I'm Zay.
Now let's get into it.
So I saw this post and it says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the person that sets up the date pays for the date. Do you agree? I know this has nothing to do with what we're just
No, no,
talking
no,
about.
no,
It's
no,
just,
no, no. I think that's a great question. That's a great question. Now, repeat the question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the person who sets up the date pays for the date.
All right. All right. I agree with that, but it depends, right? So I agree if you're in a long-term relationship and you guys pretty much have joint bank accounts, then it really doesn't matter. I know.
Exactly.
That's why I agree with it. But how I am, unless it's, let's say, my birthday or something, I don't like my wife, but I don't like my wife paying for me. Even though mind you, we have joint account, joint things. So, of course, I don't mind her paying, but I don't like her paying for me regardless. I like paying the bill. Like, that's just the way I am. So, now if, let's say, she's outside and something, and I'm like, hey, can you pick me up a burger? Like, it's not like as soon as she comes home,
Mm,
you're going to give her back $5. Like, no, but I'm just saying, as far as
yeah.
going out to a nice restaurant or something, unless it's something, a special occasion, and you're really taking me out, I whether you, the my wife, or to people that are single, is the one that sets the date, it doesn't change, man. You're still the man. You still cover the bill. Um, unless it's something, unless you just don't have it. If you're dating someone and you're just like, yo, I'm broke, and you're just like, I don't care, I want to take you out, by all means, you guys are in a relationship, that's what it's about. But I just personally, in general, unless if that is the case, I would take care of that bill personally. How about you?
Yeah, I take care of it. I mean, it's a give and take. So, I mean, I can take care of it. My girl can take care of it. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter to me. Now, if this is a fresh relationship,
yeah,
and if a girl asks me out, I mean, if I didn't have it, I'd be like, no. And not because I wouldn't want to go out with her, but it's just I don't want to feel like you have to pay for me. I'd rather pay
and
for
that's
myself
exactly
or
what I'm
pay for
saying.
you as well.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't accept that date, and I'd explain why I'm not accepting the date. I
yeah,
mean, she might still be like, "Who cares? I still want to just take you. Let's go, whatever."
yeah.
But I'd be like, "Nah, it's
No,
cool." Or I might turn around and be like, "Okay, fine," but that's when I'll have water and bread because of it. I don't want you paying for me. Really, I feel
but
whatless right now.
no, but and that's the point. The thing is that the only way you would allow her to pay is if you were in a position where you're not able to pay, and if you were in a position to not be able to pay, you would still make sure she understood you were in that position. Like, hey,
Yeah,
right now I can't afford it, so how about next week when I get paid? You know what I mean? I want to take you out. You would still not feel okay with it, and I
mm.
think that's the case. Like, I would not be like, when I was single, I couldn't do that. Like, that's just not a part of the way I was brought up. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, no, like, I'm gonna pay for that.
So to expand on this, I saw another post.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have to anything to do with this one,
Okay.
but there was a dude who is, say, messaging a female, a woman, a lady, and he's like, "Hey, what's your Cash App?" He's like, "Because um, we've, according to my calculation, well, you've made it clear that you don't want to move further with this courting, dating,
Yeah.
wherever we're doing. Um, we've been on 3 dates, and including like your meal and drinks, splitting it halfway, I think $35 is good for you to pay me back." And then in the comment section,
Yeah.
people were saying, like, well, he's not wrong for it because, I mean, yeah, he's not wrong for it because, if you knew it wasn't going anywhere, you probably knew from the beginning it wasn't going anywhere. And then, so as you can tell, there was dudes who said that. Then
Yeah.
women were saying, well, I mean, it's like a gamble. Like, you don't go to the casino expecting to win, and then because you didn't win, you say you want your money back from the casino. No, like, you went, you brought the person out, it didn't work out. move on to the next thing. Like, leave it alone. Or they're like, so you expected to get payment from you doing something nice?
Exactly.
So it's not to say you were doing something nice because you felt like you were doing something nice. You were just doing it because you expected something in the end. And they're
Exactly.
like, that's not how it works. Just because she didn't want to give you anything, like a relationship, sex, or anything, you're now mad and you want half the money back because it should be 50-50. Like,
Yeah.
you chose. So my thing is, okay, the dude who wrote in the comments about, well, you know, she knew it wasn't going anywhere from jump and she shouldn't have basically let him on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not to say maybe she didn't know it wasn't going to go anywhere. They went on
Exactly.
3 dates. So the first date, you're probably like, eh. Second date, you're like, okay. Maybe he did something on that third date that turned you off.
Maybe he mentioned the money and said, "Hey, if you're not gonna, if we're not gonna end up hooking up, I would probably ask back for my money."
Exactly.
It could be some
And so,
ignorance like that.
and that's exactly it. So that's why I was like, you can't blame her and you can't say he's right for that. Like,
Yeah.
no, if you pay for it, you pay for it. That's it. Like, don't ask back for it. Like, if there was an issue, you should have been like, okay, we're gonna go Dutch.
Yeah.
And just do that from jump. And I mean, at that point, if she says, you know what, this is gonna be the first and only date, so be it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There are some dudes out there who will be like, okay, we'll pay for our own selves in the beginning, and then if it goes somewhere, at that point, I'll spoil her and shower her. But that's not how you show her. Like,
bruh,
you just do what you do and be who you are. Like, stop trying to pretend to be
that's how
something you're
some
not.
people are, though. Some people are like, okay, there's such thing as weak men, and a lot of these the dudes that are writing in the comment section, that dude that's asking back for the money, all these dudes are weak men. Like, you shouldn't, first of all, splitting 50-50 on a date, like, bro, who raised you? Like, really? You don't split 50-50? Don't go on a date if you can't afford it. It's that simple. And I know it might just be sexist, but that's just the way I'm old school. If you can't afford it, don't go. There's no point in you asking her for half and half to go on a date. That's just not how things work. Secondly, now, if after 3 dates, if she's not into you, she has to pay you back. Like, what were you expecting? And if 3 dates and you want half of the 3 dates, and
And
that
it was
comes out to
$35.
$35, my G, like, what do
Yeah.
you think $35 is going to get you? I'm not saying that any money should come out to any sexual favors, but if it did, $35 might get you a handshake. $35, $35. $35 you pay on parking. And I'm not talking baller type. I'm just saying, on 3 dates, $35, that's about parking. That's around at the parking lot. Ain't no meal coming out to 30. Bruh,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is it's some weak man nonsense that you expect First of all, you should not be expecting anything sexual. You just shouldn't. That's not the way the world works. Like, and I can't even say that's an old school, new school mentality. That's not any respectable man that I've ever met, never expected anything sexual from buying someone food. Nobody that I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's and that's what it's coming down to, that she didn't want nothing she didn't want him anymore, so now he owes her back for the money that he spent. It again, I use the word disgusting a lot, but that is, you know what word I hate? Toxic masculinity. But that
Yeah.
is toxic masculinity if I ever heard it. Like, it's like, how can you want some $35? It's just, I don't know, man. She's lucky she stopped talking to you. That's the best thing that she could have done.
Yeah.
If that's where you would
Another
like to
thing,
take it. Go ahead.
another post pertaining to the same thing.
Yeah.
There was this dude who took a girl out, and it might have been a TikTok. I don't know. It was something. But the dude took the girl out, and he was like, because she's a feminist, basically, he's telling her she has to pay her own bill.
Did he
I don't
know?
think that's right at
Wait, time
all.
out. Did he know she was a feminist before he took her out?
Yes. So he took her out made her purchase whatever she purchased, and then told her she has to pay for herself. Like,
Yeah,
don't
it's
ask anybody out if you're trying to set like.
dude, it's mad. Again, these are weak men. Like I I never want to be that guy that calls out other men. I see it happen so many times on the internet and they piss me off so much. But with men like this, I have to. I have to say these are weak men. Like any woman deserves better than that. It's like that this is bare minimum. This is literally somebody asks you on a date. And again, even whether the girl asked the guy or the guy asked the girl, the way I was brought up again, or and the way I know you were brought up is we pay for it. That's just what it is. Again, some people might not have been brought up that way. They might not have the same set of morals or principles, but we do. So when I was single, I would pay for it. I'm sure you would pay for it. That's what you do. It's not because you're expecting anything after. It's you
Exactly.
you pay, you have a good night, hopefully, and if there's a connection, there's a connection. You don't pay and feel entitled to any part of the woman. You don't pay and feel entitled to the rest of your life with the woman. No, it's very it's again disturbing. And these are just weak men that have not been brought up right and have this false sense of what being a man is. To be
Or
honest,
false self sense of entitlement,
yeah,
because
exactly.
you're not entitled to any of that. Like,
At all, at all. It's very disturbing. But this is the worst part is these are the times we're living in. It's like men are at two separate ends of the spectrum. It's either they're like that where they, hey, half half, I'm not gonna spend nothing on her unless I'm with her. And then there's the other half of I'm gonna just pay for everything. I'm gonna buy her Birkin bags and da da da.
mm,
And it's like, no, like where is the real? Like I know I don't even know if that's a good explanation, but to me, real is you enjoy, you have fun, you're spending because you're enjoying spending time spending with the
yeah,
person. It's not about impressing, and it's also not about trying to show that you're a man by not spending money. Like it's weird.
yeah,
We are in a very weird time right now, where
mm-hmm.
people just can't be good people. Like I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. No, no, and you said it perfectly actually, because this whole thing where the Birkin bag
Mm,
fiasco that's going on now, where yeah, you don't love your girl if you don't get her a Birkin bag.
yeah,
Not everyone has Birkin bag money,
dude.
so I'm pretty sure before you came into that position, you weren't buying your girls Birkin bags. I mean,
Exactly.
you're probably gonna say you didn't love those girls. I mean, maybe you didn't, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, I like I'd rather spend money on a house, property.
Which makes sense. Which makes sense. Invest. There's so many, like, it's so much ignorance going on in this world on both ends of the spectrum, man, and it's really pissing me off, man, because a lot. I'm lucky that I'm not single, because I don't know how I would move with the way people, the
Yeah,
social media age moves. It goes against everything I believe in. I believe in treating somebody nice, not because they could give something to me, just because that's how I am. I want to be nice to a person. I want them to be nice back to me. I don't want to feel like I need to buy you a $30,000 bag just to talk to you on the phone. Like these things make no damn sense, bro. Like no sense, but that's actually what's being pushed. These narratives, both of them, and it's I don't know,
mm.
extremely ignorant, bro. Once again, this is Cuz the Internet podcast. I'm your host Trey.
And I'm Zay. And remember, if it's on the internet, we may talk about it. Hey, you.
All right.